Okay, on this video we'll be talking about the score sheet. We've already talked about how to create the assignments, and for this one I went ahead and created 3 assignments. I created one in each category. I made sure that my dates fall within the proper reporting term. So September 14th is within the work or the performance term. My exam is Friday the 11th, which is the last day of the trimester. And my practice also falls within the work reporting term. So now when I go to the score sheet, I can see there's reporting terms at the top. If I'm on trimester, because trimester covers everything, it's going to show me all of them. If I go to just work, then I see the 2 work assignments. If I go to exam, I would see just the exam assignments. I'm going to go to trimester 1 so that I can see all of the assignments. Now I have some scores in here for one of my assignments. I want you to note that there's an S here next to this assignment. This is the assignment that I tied the employability standards to. That's why I have an S. To see those, I simply click on the S and it expands it out to the right. Now I've already put scores in here for the employabilities, so it's green. If I right click on any heading, I get these options to work with the scores. When I get the options, if I do a clear scores, and it'll ask me if I want to verify this, and I hit OK. Now this turns gray. And the reason it turns gray is to let you know that you have not completed scores for every student on the standards assigned to this assignment. So it's a quick way to look at your assignments without having to expand each one of them to know if you've got a score for each of them. So I'm going to right click on this, and now I can do a quick fill. I'm going to say every student got a 3 except for one kid got a 2. So there's my 2. So by right clicking on either an assignment or a standard, I can use the quick fill option to quickly put a score in for everyone. I can also clear the scores. Another option is to copy scores. So if all my scores are generally the same from behavior, collaboration, participation, and task completion, with a few exceptions, I can right click, copy scores. I can go to my next column, right click, paste scores. It says it's going to overwrite because I already have data in there. I'm going to verify with OK. I can also right click and do a fill scores. Now the fill scores gives me a few more options. It says, do I want to only give the kids with no scores this, or do I want to replace all? I'm going to say replace all because I already have scores in here and I want to see some changes. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and say give them a score of 2. Note there are other options. I could select this to say missing, exempt, late, or collected. I'm going to go ahead and just say a score of 2. When I hit OK, it changes everybody to a 2. When I click on an assignment versus a standard, I just get more options. I can copy an assignment, I can hide standards, and other options are basically the same. When I'm working with an assignment, here's my scores. Down here, there's an arrow next to the word summary. If I click that up arrow, it clicks up the summary. The summary just basically gives me some statistics on the assignment. Now this is where you could work with a group. So if you wanted to see the statistics of assignments for a special group within a section, I would create the group. I would call it test. You could call your group whatever you'd like, of course. I'm going to add just these 2 students here. By click one, control, click the other, I select both. I'm going to drag them into my group. Now those are in my group. Right now my option is highlight selected. So when I save my changes here, okay, so when I look at When I look at my section for CCNA 1 and those two students that I brought down into my group, I have highlight selected here, so now I can see those two. If I wanted to see how they were doing in the summary area, I could hit my drop down and say filter. Now by taking the other students out, now I can see how those students are doing in the summary area versus all of my students by having highlighted on. Again, that's just by creating a group and doing filter selected. Easy way to monitor a certain group within your section. The next button up here is Final Grades. This shows you what your final grade would be based on your reporting term selected. So here, for example, I'm looking at trimester 1, so all of the assignments and scores that fall within trimester 1, how is it doing? Note that I see that the student is receiving a D at 25%. Now because we don't use percentages, this is an important point to bring up, we can use Tools, Preferences, Grading, and let's uncheck percent. Now when we're working with it, we're just going to see points, which is how we truly grade. Student view. The student view is designed to give the teacher a page that they can show students and parents during conferences so that only that student's information would be displayed. It hides all other students, scores, and so on, so that a teacher has the opportunity to sit down and show an electronic copy without having to print something off or worry about other students' information being revealed. So this is how you score an assignment